Welcome.
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 Welcome to the Green Film Festival.
I'm Rachel Kaplan. I'm the founder and director of the San Francisco Green Film Festival, and we're here tonight at the opening night of our annual film festival at the beautiful Castro Theatre. We launched the Green Film Festival in 2011. This is our 7th annual festival, and really had a vision of a place where we could bring people together and share very urgent and vital environmental stories and films from the front lines. And I think with everything we've seen in the last year, and now with the new White House administration, there are threats to climate change and environmental regulations that more than ever we need to be coming together, sharing these stories, seeing what's going on around the country and around the world, and supporting the work of filmmakers to keep reporting back to us.
Hi, I'm Anna Calibri, and I'm volunteering at the Green Film Festival. This is my 7th festival and my 6th year doing the Green Speak Out. So I'm kind of busy trying to actually film a bunch of people here at the festival to get their input, and that helps us with sponsorships, and it helps us spread the word during the festival. It's a great opportunity to put it on social media and have people share it and extend our reach. I think that our top sort of concerns right now in the United States and globally are overpopulation, climate change, and more locally, mass incarceration. So this is one of our top 3 issues. Oh, and income inequality, top 4.
First and foremost, we're about people and the planet, because the environment's around all of us, it connects all of us, and those are the stories we want to share. I think, well, for me, it's about the power of film. You know, we know that movies entertain us, they can make us laugh and cry, and there's nothing like watching a film, particularly I think documentary films that are really, good documentary films where we can share in the life of a character and share in the challenges they're facing. Hopefully some great victories for the environment, but maybe it's going to be a loss and some heartache as well.
The Green Film Festival is a great opportunity to make a difference, to educate yourself, to get to know like-minded greenies, and to have fun.
And part of environmental education, I think that our festival in Russia, they were just, started the conversation, and it's, we created the audience somehow. Here you don't need to create the audience, but I don't know, it's just such a great platform to be able to talk about, and you cannot really solve the problem without talking about that. So, let's watch movies and talk.
Today I'm excited for when very shortly, in a few minutes, we're going to open the doors here at the Castro Theatre, and a beautiful world premiere of Evolution of Organics going to unfold on screen in a full house of people that care about the environment. It's really a wonderful feeling. I'm excited for the connections we'll make, the people that will meet each other at the festival, filmmakers and scientists, and just people that have a passion about the environment. It's a place to get inspired.
So I'm Mark Kitchell, a veteran documentary filmmaker, and my new film, Evolution of Organic, is the opening night of the San Francisco Green Film Festival. Well, I made a film called A Fierce Green Fire, which is about the environmental movement, and this was one of the stories we left out. And I felt, frankly, jealous of all the people making good food and farming films, and I thought, I want to do that. Well, the biggest story, the big news is carbon farming as a solution to climate change. And that's the sort of climax of the film. Most people don't know a whole lot about carbon farming and how it can take the carbon dioxide out of the air where it's a harm and put it in the ground where it's the basis of soil organic matter and is a real good. And they're still working on all the different ways and techniques of sequestering carbon in the soil, but it's a big new story that I learned about in the course of making the film. I'm just really pleased with the film.
Today there is no obedience and reverence of nature whatever in anybody. They couldn't care less about the law of God.
This movement arose, I could say, organically. There were people beginning to have the same realization that we need to readjust and redesign.
What was really fun about it was that incredible sense of, hey, we can discover this. What is this thing? Let's do this thing.
There's no hostile enemies for these beautiful little microbes living in that little...
It felt good to do the right thing. We were going to grow good food, we were going to feed our friends and our families, and we were going to do the best thing we could for the environment. We're the group that put the culture back in agriculture.
The local newspaper actually wrote an editorial, said it was a communist conspiracy to overthrow the American food chain to question farm chemistry.
We were the hottest thing in the market. We had enough organics now that we could convert mass market, supermarket people into organics.
How we treat the food is symbolic really of how we treat the earth and how we treat ourselves.
You're closer to that magic of how food is actually really grown.
Nothing compares with the magnitude of what soil can do for sequestering carbon back out of the atmosphere and back into the soil where it used to be. Soil is the biggest single answer to climate change.
My name's Dean Mermel, and my film is called 12 Pianos. We're in a room at the Castro Theater, upstairs on the mezzanine, and it's a lot of filmmakers schmoozing with a lot of people who might be interested in their films. To have a film that you finish and you kind of don't know where it's going to go, and then have it premiere at the Castro is beyond my dreams. It's great. My film is about a good friend of mine named Mauro Fortissimo. And his idea, which was to put pianos out into public outdoor spaces. And that started with one piano that he put on the beach in February of 2013 near his home in Half Moon Bay. And then from there, it grew into many pianos in many places. I joined him on the project, and so we became a team on the project. And while that was happening, I realized that as a filmmaker, I saw an opportunity to make a good film here. So that's the evolution of what this became, 12 Pianos.
I get calls for free pianos all the time, and well, nothing is really free. You know what I mean? Yeah, they give you the piano, but the sucker weighs 800 pounds. I was doing a show a while back, and I was burning a piano. Some people got upset, and they asked me, hey, why don't you donate that to a school? Well, the schools don't want pianos. They just got 10 out of Oakland. Pianos are getting out of commission. You don't see them around anymore. I mean, the other day I read in the New York Times they were throwing pianos away to the dumps. Actually, that should be against the law. We're going to install 12 pianos at select locations along the San Mateo coast. I mean, look at here, dude. I love to just have this view and play. What we're doing might not be strictly legal, but sometimes you have to do something a little crazy. Donde hay agua, toman agua. Donde hay vino, agüita fresca.
And we were thinking that maybe the ghosts of the previous piano owners are here.
So it wasn't like a big conceptual thing.
Out of breath at a Vishnu temple with a bell out of order, please knock sign. Bright angel fan out of the wizards, ante rooms, green in the sun. As though a city could be washed and waxed like a Mercedes.
I'm trying to look a bit into the futures and see, well, hopefully I will not be around, but there'll be a day in which there are no more pianos. I mean, there'll be no more pianos around.
I would love the audience to walk away with a sense of possibility, that they can be empowered to make real any good idea that they have. And if they have an idea that feels good to them personally, there's a good chance it's going to feel good universally, and that everybody will like it. If they're honest with themselves and they have something they really love, there's a chance somebody else is going to resonate with that. And you should totally put that out into the world. It's going to be really exciting because our project, the Sunset Piano Project, is all about taking music out of its normal context and making it available to people on all levels. So we're going to have a piano, a grand piano here in front of the theater with a bunch of our Sunset Piano musicians playing it. Also, we're going to move the piano in, so for the after party, it'll be down here in the lobby. It's going to be pretty wild, and we're going to have a lot of amazing people here.
This year we've inaugurated a new award, the Green Fire Award for Best Bay Area Environmental Feature. We are seeing year on year, we're getting a great number of really good films coming out, documentary films coming out of the Bay Area. There's a deep and diverse talent pool here when it comes to independent film. So we wanted to celebrate that and throw a spotlight on it and give, have a lineup of great films that are competing for the award. We have an international jury. We'll be announcing it closing night, and there's a $5,000 cash prize. So we're happy to help support local filmmaking too.
My name is Mark DeSena. I'm the founder of Content Films, and I'm here as a judge for the Green Fire Award, the San Francisco Green Film Festival. I'm very excited to be here. And I just want to say one thing, that since it was announced today that City College is free, that I'm going to do this interview for free. I usually charge, a couple $100,000 for an interview, but tonight is free. So as a judge, we're looking for films that of course deal with something that is environmental or socially unjust, that needs awareness. But I think another very important part is that we're looking for a level of artistic expression. Because I think the green movement needs sophisticated media, I would say. That's a nice way of putting it, but films that tell stories that people want to see. More and more people need to see films like this, so the more engaging and perhaps more unique we can make the films, the more people are going to want to see them.
Anastasia Laukanen. I am a founder and program director of EcoCup Green Documentary Film Festival in Moscow, Russia. I'm a jury for international program. It's very exciting because there is a great program, great films, and we're gonna make decision on Monday, and I'm very excited about that.
Water. Found all over our planet, this simple and often taken for granted object is crucial to all aspects of modern human life. And then came bottled water. Made from plastic, this product is currently being sold from companies like Coca-Cola and Nestle. Protesters frequently line up in front of these producing giants, fighting against a multi-billion-dollar industry. But what are they protesting about? Many cite clogging up waterways, draining reservoirs, and an often forgotten fact, how using bottled water indirectly pollutes the air. And that is what I'm here to talk about. My name is Jeffrey Chen, and welcome to The Theory of.
If sacred land can be taken over by corporations, then none of our indigenous communities are protected, including my own.
People are waking up. People are saying no more.
Society took our land away from us. We need to protect it.
I will stand and fight for this place.
There's no turning back for us.
I tell them, rise!
Ethiopia is one of the fastest growing African nations. Although its multi-sectorial growth has been noted, the financial sector exceptionally.
There is a national park in the middle here, and there is a pressure that farm investors are coming to Gambela to be given land.
በሱ ላይ መረጃ ማግኘት የምችለው ከየት ነው? ኦፊሻል የሆነ ካርታ ከየት ማግኘት እችላለሁ? ማግኘት አይቻልም።
የፌዴራል ፖሊስና የብሔራዊ መረጃና ደህንነት የጋራ ጸረ ሽብር ግብረ ኃይል በወንጀሉ ተጠርጥረው ከፍርድ ቤት በወጣ የመያዣ ትዕዛዝ መሰረት
World Bank has provided billions of dollars budget support to the Ethiopian government.
I don't need to be any dollar one in it.
I don't fear arresting, I fear torture.
In Ethiopia, World Bank, instead of helping the people, is hurting the people. So let invest in the human right and the human dignity rather than those people that will harm the people. Thank you.
The number of species per square kilometer is greater than any other place on the planet. If we look at trees, there's more species per hectare here than in all the U.S. and Canada combined.
Culture and rainforest conservation are inseparable.
Of people's right living in their own environment and in balance with their environment, or those people perishing, is symbolic of the fate of the world.
It's not possible to wall off all that water. There's just too much.
That water is the economic lifeblood of this region. That's why the port is here. That's why the military is here.
It's our largest naval base in the world, and we're not going anywhere.
Flooding is impacting all the bases in Hampton Roads.
We have to have sailors that are ready to go to fight our nation's battles.
Pretty difficult to get the people onto the base if they're driving down roads that have standing water on them.
Flooding is happening on sunny days. Constant environmental challenges degrade readiness over time.
The commanding officer has to turn off the electrical power to the piers.
It cancels church, it cancels softball games.
And the stresses add up over time, especially in a military life. It's stressful enough.
The U.S. military, they see the problem. The naysayers are jeopardizing U.S. national security, and they are jeopardizing the U.S. economy.
Facts are that the water's coming up and the land's going down.
Water is the water, and it doesn't matter what your politics are, it still comes in my yard, in my basement.
It's a challenge to our mission. It's a challenge to our way of life.
What's our plan that will allow this region to continue to operate?
How can we be an exporter of good ideas to the rest of the world?
That's a real opportunity for this region.
We have the technology, we have the knowledge.
How do you make yourself part of the solution and not simply be a victim?
I was at the screening, San Francisco premiere of a film called The Age of Stupid by a British filmmaker called Franny Armstrong. And it was this light bulb moment for me, because not only was the film very engaging and compelling, but the way that the filmmaker was using the film to motivate the audience to get involved around a campaign, to sign petitions. And I suddenly could see how film could really help us grow the green movement in that way.
I mean, I think the biggest misnomer as a filmmaker, especially in the green and environmental space, is that you're going to make a film and then you're done with it. You know, but that's, you finish the film, and that's where the actual work really begins, because then you have a story that you need to evangelize and tell people about, and you want people to see the film as well, and you want people to hear the stories of the people that you've just talked about. In our case, grassroots activists from around the world that many people don't know much about, and their stories need to be heard. So getting the film out there and engaging with the public and trying to get your activists to come into screenings. I do think the grassroots screenings, festivals are great. I want to say film festivals are great, but the grassroots screenings are very important too. They're incredible. You get to engage with the public on a one-to-one level, Q&As, and generally free. As a filmmaker, you try to recoup a little bit of cost, because we usually make films without funding. We need funding. Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to recoup some costs, but also engage your story with the audience. Let them have feedback with it, and you can do with Q&As and just overall human interaction with people is what you need for real change in the world.
I think, at least in my mind, I'm famous for doing grassroots outreach campaigns. On the last film, my daughter and I organized 300 screenings around the country, and I've already committed to doing at least 100 in California for this film. And that's the way we're going to reach the organic community. We should be showing it at farmers markets. It should be for sale at Whole Foods. I commit to doing a year or two. I consider it job number 2. After you're done with the film, you have to get it out there.
The Green Film Festival is important because it gives people an insight into what other people are doing environmentally, and with that environmental consciousness, how environmental consciousness and social and cultural worlds overlap. I like how the festival's programmed that way, to make all of those things kind of, instead of portraying them as individual issues, they're all entwined. Like the human body has a brain and a heart, and all those things are important. You can't separate them. The film festival seems to be programmed that way, and I think that's wonderful. I think that's unusual in a film festival.
The festival programmers, they try to find films that would not make you walk away, because environmental documentary already have a reputation of being something, like boring, or telling you didn't know how bad everything is even worse. But many programmers, they actually try to, there are so many really engaging, really entertaining films out there that makes you inspired, that makes you like, you sit in the movie and you're like, oh my God, I just want to do it. I know that it's possible to do.
I think when we start to think about climate change and all the threats to the environment right now, it can feel very overwhelming and doom and gloom scenarios, and we're all going to hell in a handbasket. And we definitely don't want people to walk away feeling that there aren't solutions. We want people to come and learn that there are things that we can do. There are things that are being done. There are a million places where you could hook on. You just have to find the one thing you're passionate about and hook on and really do it.